Hi there, my name is Sally. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel, How I Got There from Cult Survivor to Writer. This is like take 89. The last one I did, I forgot to press start on my phone, and so I talked for 10 minutes without recording anything. So this is gonna be my last take. But I wanna say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me so far by liking my videos, by watching my videos, by sharing them, by commenting, and most of all by subscribing. So I don't know if you're aware, but once you have 1,000 subscribers and on your YouTube channel, you can start monetizing and earning an income. I do not earn any money for any of my writing right now or any of my video content. And just letting you know so that if you want to support people, all you got to do is subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. You will just get notifications when I have new videos that come out on your YouTube. You won't get an email or anything like that. It'll just pop up. But it helps me and it helps you because then you know when I've done something new and exciting and you're going to want to watch it. So for those of you also who haven't watched any of my other videos, I encourage you to go back and watch at least the first two that talk about the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I'm doing these videos as a support for artists, for writers, for people who are stuck in cults, for people who are thinking about joining a cult, for people who got out of a cult, or people who are curious about a cult. It's an interesting mindset. I did not join this cult. Was not born into it. My mother became a cult member when I was in like the end of first grade, beginning of second grade, all the way till I was age 17. So, and she's still she's in her 80s, but I was kicked out of the house when I was 17. So that's when I left. But I share this with you because I am sharing one tidbit at a time about the lies of Jehovah's Witnesses and what they will tell you to your face when you ask the questions that I'm going to be asking and talking about. They will not give you the truth. They feel like they have to protect Jehovah at all costs. And I also think that if they actually told you the truth, that you would run away. So the last video I did, a couple videos ago, I did something about going door to door, and somebody asked me, can't you just not go? I mean, why do you have to go door to door? Well, you can't not just go. So that's the misconception. The people that you see coming to your door, they don't have a choice. They say they have a choice, but if you don't go door to door, you're shunned, you're frowned upon. The other Jehovah's Witnesses will talk bad about you. You'll earn this bad reputation. It's not good. So sorry, I have something making noise here. I'm not doing a new start this video. I'm tired. The next thing that I want to talk about is what happened to me. As a child, I had a lot of things happen to me that were very traumatic. And if you're interested in reading some of my articles, I have a link below in Medium where I talk about my struggle after leaving and becoming an adult, my struggle with anxiety and depression and PTSD, and how hard it was to get to where I am today. So, and that's just from growing up in a cult. So I can't imagine somebody who's lived it their whole life and has escaped. But so I'm going to share another one of the lies that Jehovah's Witnesses will not tell you, which I don't understand. If you have the truth, as they call it, why do you have to lie about it? I never lie about my religion. I never lie about my faith or my belief. If somebody asks me or I want to share it, I don't lie about it. I'm not ashamed about it. My God is not weak. My God is not fearful. I'm just going to put that out there. So Jehovah's Witnesses are not allowed to date. If you have teenagers, they're not allowed to date. They can date when they're ready to get married, and then it's chaperoned, or groups. This is not to say that kids do not hook up. I know it happens, but those are the bad witnesses, and it's all hush hush, and it happens because we're human. But when I was 16, I'd already had enough of the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was done, but I was also stuck, because leaving means you lose everything. And where is a 16-year-old going to go? I did have family. I had a dad, but my dad was in the Navy and he was not around. And my family, cousins and aunts and uncles, I didn't know them and they didn't know me. So I'm stuck in this world. And I started to rebel, and I met this nice boy at school. We had a few classes together. We had art, I think we had PE, and I think we had algebra or something together. I should remember, because he was my first love. So I started seeing, flirting with him and talking with him and, having lunch together. And then I got scared, because it was like, you know what? I can't go to a school dance with him. I can't go to soccer games. I can't do anything that normal kids would do. I did figure out, how to stay after school and watch a soccer game, because he played soccer, or stay after school and do some extra school activities. So I was lying and doing things. But he also understood. He was very, very kind-hearted, and he liked me enough that he understood. I don't think he understood the level of what I was going through, because you're 16 or 17, so I don't think he understood the complete how my home life was, the abuse, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, and I don't think he understood that, but I didn't share it either. I didn't want anybody to know what was going on in my house. All victims, nobody wants, and I was a kid. I don't want anyone to know that. I already had enough issues of being weird, and so I didn't need any more. So I didn't share that. So that was my sophomore year. And so kind of our junior year, we kind of solidified this relationship, and somehow we managed over the summer to sneak out and see each other. He lived around the corner from me. I would slip him notes. It was so goofy, teenagers. But this is before cell phones, so I write little paper notes and leave them. I left you a note in the water meter box out front, or it was just goofy. Or I would go to the grocery store where he worked. I would volunteer to go get milk and eggs, and I would go over and talk to him. But then something happened, and I don't remember exactly what, but my little sister saw me with him. I think we were at the pool during the summer, and we were in the pool. We weren't doing anything. We were just talking, okay? Because he knew my sister was there, so he was just acting like he just met me at the pool. Well, of course, my sister, being the brat that she was, she still is, she's not going to watch this, so I know I'm not worried. Of course, Sally was talking to a boy. In any home, where is it wrong for a 16-year-old girl to talk to a boy? It's not. But in this home, it was. And so I lied and said, it was just a boy from school. I didn't really know him. I just saw him in the pool, and that was it. Well, that was fine. She believed me. And then the summer went on, and something else happened. I don't remember what it was. It was so long ago, but it was one of my, we were back at school by this time,
And I had another girl at school who was a Jehovah's Witness this year. And so the previous year it was okay because I was the only one and nobody was going to see me at school talking to him or holding his hand in the hallway. But she saw, and she went and she told her mom, and her mom called my mom. And then I came home from school one day and my mom was upset. And this was very early on during the school year. Like, we had just gone back to school. And she took me to the Kingdom Hall, to the elders. And she sat in the car and she sent me in by myself. And so here I am. Now picture your daughter. Would you do this to your daughter or your son? Send them in by themselves to speak with two grown men, two adult men, obviously two men. That was kind of redundant. I had to sit across from a table from them in the elders' room. They were wearing suits and ties. They had their Bibles open. And I'm there in my shorts and, my little top. Completely modest, of course. But they started to question me. And the level of questions that they asked me were completely inappropriate. First of all, I should not have been alone with these men by myself. I should have had a guardian with me. Second of all, I shouldn't have been there. There was no need for me to be there. I was holding a boy's hand. There's nothing wrong with that. Third, the questions they asked me, and I'm going to tell you what they were. The first question they asked me was, did I kiss him? I was like, well, of course I kissed him. I said, yes. They asked me, what kind of kissing? Then they wanted to know, did I let him touch my breasts? Did I touch him? Did I enjoy it? Did I take off my shirt? Did I take off my bra? Did I enjoy it? They kept asking me if I enjoyed it. And I'm 16. And I'm sitting here being asked these questions. And you have to remember, I grew up in an abusive home where there was verbal abuse. There was emotional abuse. My home was a chaos. It was not a home. And here I'm thrown to the wolves and I'm literally being asked inappropriate questions by these men. This is so wrong in so many ways. So I don't care if you think that the Jehovah's Witnesses have one little bit of truth. This is not the love of Jesus. This is not right. This is 100% wrong. This should never happen. And they still do this today. They will lie to you and say they don't. That is a complete lie. If you have the truth, why do you lie? Because you don't want people to know what you're doing behind closed doors. So this interview, judicial committee meeting is what they call it, where they asked me all these questions. I wonder what these adult men were thinking, asking a 16-year-old if she liked having her breasts touched. Borderline, I don't even have any words for it. It just blows me away. And that made me angry. I was already defiant. I was already getting out, but now I was angry. I was mad at myself for sitting there and answering their questions. I should have just walked out. But again, where was I going to go? I knew Jehovah was a big fat lie, and I knew my mother did not stick up for me at all. My mother was not a parent. My stepfather was nothing. He was like below the blow. He should be in jail. But my mother was not a mom. And I knew that I could not rely on her to help me. I couldn't rely on my sisters. Nobody. It was just me. And so I decided at that point that I was done and I was going to find a way out. But I still needed time. So I played along and acted like I was this dutiful Jehovah's Witness. I told them I'm not seeing that boy anymore, which was a lie. I went to all the meetings. I studied, which was also a lie. You have to study your books in between meetings. They love to highlight things. I'll talk about that at another point, but I highlighted all my books and magazines. I didn't read them. I knew my dad was coming back. He was stationed overseas, and I knew he was coming back. And so the middle of my senior year, actually the middle of my first semester of my senior year, so it was like October, I was still seeing him at school, and I said, screw it. I was holding his hand. We sat and had lunch together, giggle, giggle, giggle. We did all the things that you would do if you were in high school and you were boyfriend and girlfriend. I didn't care about that girl. Let her tell. Well, and she did. Of course she did. And everyone started calling me a liar at the Kingdom Hall. People stopped talking to me. And my mom was mortified because here I had disappointed her and made her look like a lousy mother in front of Jehovah and the elders. She tried to get the elders to come back. This time they came to my room in my house and were trying to guide me and tell me, how wrong I was and what a big mistake I was making and blah, blah, blah. Actually, let me back that up. Sorry, I left out a very important part. I came home from school and my mom had her Jehovah's Witness Bible clutched to her chest, and the house was quiet. My sisters were gone, which was weird because they were always there. And she said, I heard something today. I was like, yeah, what? She goes, I heard you're still seeing that boy. And I went, mm-hmm. She said, well, Jehovah doesn't like that. And I said, no, I don't think that. And she said, well, you have to make a choice. And I was like, okay. You have to choose between Jehovah or that boy. And I thought about it for a second and I went, I choose the boy. His name is Greg. And her face dropped. She went pale. And she kind of left the room and I went to my room. Now, I wish I had more to say because I thought about it later and I was thinking to her, now tell me, mother, this is what I would say now. Why would I choose Jehovah, the one who has lied to me continually, who hasn't protected me, who makes me do all of these things and doesn't even tell me if I'm 100% going to be saved or not? Why would I believe in Jehovah, who allows my stepfather to be so abusive, even when everybody knows he's abusive, and he's hurt other people in the Kingdom Hall? Why would I love this Jehovah? He's fake. That's what I would say now. So after that, I went up to my room and was just, I didn't have a cell phone or anything. I was, I wanted to leave the house. I wanted to get out of there, but I had no way to get out. So I'm just sitting in my bed listening to music, and one of the elders comes in my room. Okay, inappropriate again. You send a man into your daughter's room. He doesn't even knock. I could have been undressed. I was like, wow, okay. So he was trying to persuade me not to leave and continue, telling me, what's Jehovah going to say? Jehovah's going to do this. Jehovah's going to do that. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to get out of here. And so it was weird for a couple of weeks until I get to my dad's house. I was non-existent. I shared a room with my older sister. She didn't talk to me. All my belongings were boxed up. I was pretty much gone. So I tell you this because if you ask a Jehovah's Witness why they shun people, or do they do the things that I just told you, they will say no. They only shun people if they do something really bad. Well, that's a big fat lie. I know tons of people who've been shunned just because they don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. So I don't tell you this because I want to give you a sob story. I tell you this because I want you to know the reality of the lies behind the truth. And if I can stop one person from joining this cult, yay.
So I'm going to share something else very brief here because I want to keep this as a cliffhanger for the next time. And you may be saying to yourself, well, so what if they're a cult? They believe what they believe. That's fine. They don't harm anybody. This group, and you can go and Google this after we talk, after I tell you this group has set it up so well that child abuse, pedophiles, it's a pedophile playground. So just leave it at this. If there's a Kingdom Hall, there's a pedophile there, or 2 or 3. They go unreported. And they're in your community. They're coming to your door. They may be teaching at your school. They may be working in your house. They may be, they're all around. That's why it should matter. That's why it should matter to you, because you need to protect the babies, the children. And this organization needs to go down because that one thing. And if you don't believe me about that, I'm telling you, Google it, go on YouTube. It's all over the place and nobody is listening. Nobody's listening. So I'm telling you because I'm concerned for our children. And I'm going to talk about that one next time. It's called the 2-witness rule. If you ask a Jehovah's Witness about it, they either don't know about it or they're going to lie about it. So I'm just putting it out there. But please subscribe to my channel. I have so much more I want to share with you. If you're a writer or a creative, go look at my creative videos that I do. And I have links to all my creative content. And I am so happy that you're here. And thank you. Come back and watch my next one. Bye.